One man, one plane, $200,000, and a leap into legend.
Miss, tell the captain.
4 parachutes when you know.
Picture this. It's November 24, 1971. A Boeing 77 slices through the gray Washington sky, 10,000 feet above a restless earth. A man in a black suit, calm as a winter lake, slides a note across to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. "I have a bomb," it reads. The words stark on lined paper. He cracks open a briefcase. Wires tangled, red sticks glinting. A threat no one dares challenge. The plane lurches off course. Passengers freeze, eyes wide. Who is this guy? That's the question that's gnawed at us for over 50 years. How does a stranger turn a routine flight into the boldest unsolved heist in history? Stick with me, this mystery's got layers, and we're peeling them back together. We're stepping into a tale that hits like a cold wind, in a world where we board planes trusting the hum of engines. What happens when that trust gets hijacked by a shadow? One calculated move, one hidden intent, and suddenly the sky feels like a trap. Today we'll unravel the chaos that gripped a nation, the enigma of a man called D.B. Cooper, and the relentless hunt that stumbled through dead ends. You'll see clues that tease the truth, cash in a river, a parachute in the brush, and why the full story might still be drifting out there lost in the clouds. Ready? Let's climb into the cockpit of this wild ride. Imagine America in 1971. The Vietnam War drags on. A wound in the national soul. Nixon's voice crackles on the radio promising peace. People cling to normalcy, families at Thanksgiving tables. Kids with transistor radios. Northwest Orient Flight 305 lifts off from Portland to Seattle. A quick 30-minute hop, 36 passengers, 6 crew, routine as coffee. Among them a man in his mid-40s, sharp in that black suit, tie slightly askew. He orders a bourbon, lights a cigarette, exhales smoke like it's nothing. No one notices. Just another traveler, right? But Florence Schaffner, 23, green on the job, feels a prickle as he hands her that note. Her hands shake. "Sit still," he says, voice low, steady. The plane veers towards Seattle-Tacoma. Hostages now passengers. Crew held by that briefcase threat. On the ground, families pace. Take Tina Mucklow, another stewardess caught in the crossfire. She relays his demands over the radio, $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, a fuel truck waiting. Her voice cracks. He means it. The tower scrambles. How does a safe flight shatter overnight? One man's audacity. And as the money drops, 20 pounds of 20s in a canvas bag, the question burns. Who walks away with a fortune? Hold that thought, because this wasn't just a heist. It was a vanishing act that rewrote the rules. Meet the man at the heart of it. D.B. Cooper. Maybe a name, maybe a lie. To the world, he's a ghost in a suit. A phantom who slipped through the cracks. Witnesses paint a picture: 5'8", 10. 170 pounds, dark hair, mid-40s, calm as a chess player. No ID, no past, just a presence. But how did he pull it off? Step 1, the setup. He boards with that briefcase bomb, real or a bluff. It worked, claims it's wired to blow, keeps the crew on edge. Step 2, control. He negotiates like a pro. Passengers, freed at Seattle. But he stays aboard with Tina and 2 pilots. Rerouting to Mexico City. Step 3, the leap. Over the rugged Washington wilderness. Between Portland and Reno, he lowers the aft stairs, jumps into a raging storm. 200 miles per hour winds, pitch black night, 10,000 feet up. Cash in one hand, a parachute strapped tight. He vanishes. Evasion, masterful. He picks a drop zone thick with Douglas firs, rivers carving the land. No chute found for years. It's like a spider weaving silk plan. The trap, strike with precision, fade into the web. But what drove him? Greed, no doubt. Maybe a grudge. Vietnam vet, ex-con, a man burned by the system. Each move fed a thrill, a defiance against the odds. Could you jump into that void? Hardly. And here's the twist. Did that chute open, or was it his coffin? We'll circle back, because the hunt that followed, it's a marathon of missed steps. Now the chase kicks in. FBI agent Ralph Himmelsbach, a grizzled veteran from Seattle, takes the reins. November 25, 1971, he's boots on the ground near Ariel, Washington. Storms are monster, rain lashes, wind howls. Search teams comb the forest, dogs barking, helicopters buzzing. No body, no parachute. Cash, swallowed by the wild. Theories fly, parachute snag, animal attack, river dead ends stack up. 1978, a boy named Brian Ingram, 8 years old, finds $5,800 in 20s along the Columbia River. Serial numbers match Cooper's ransom. Hope sparks. Divers plunge into icy waters. Dogs sniff the banks. Planes scan from above. Nothing. 1980, a hunter digs up a parachute near Amboy, but it's weathered from the 40s, unrelated. Pressure builds. The FBI sifts subsects. Hundreds of names. Richard McCoy, a vet who tried a copycat jump in '72, gets caught with $500,000, but his gear doesn't align. Dwayne Weber, a trucker who confessed on his deathbed in '98. His wife Jo swears he muttered "I'm Dan Cooper," yet DNA from his tie flops. Kenneth Christensen, a Northwest paratrooper, matches the sketch. Knew the plane's quirks, but no hard proof. What if the real clue was staring them in the face? You'd wonder. Maybe a pilot's log, a forgotten passenger, open loop. That money, where's the other 110? A group of citizen sleuths, led by Tom Kay, a geologist with a detective's itch, hits the Columbia River bank. They find more bills, degraded, lodged in sand, claim it's the full $200,000 eroded by floods. The FBI shrugs, calls it old hat, but Kay's got data. Particle analysis, diatoms, pollen, pins it to the 1971 deluge. Breakthrough, possibly. They petition for a cold case reopen, digging into declassified files. 2018, the FBI drops 8,000 pages, sketches, witness tapes, agent notes. Nothing locks it down. Twists keep coming. 2020, a titanium clip from a parachute surfaces near Vancouver. Cooper's rig, or a hunter's discard. Debate rages. Dead ends persist. No DNA from the tie he left. No flight recorder of the jump. No clear jump site. The Bureau leans on a theory. Amateur luck, not skill. Cliffhanger. Did he survive that storm? The net tightens, but the sky holds its secrets. It's the kind of enigma that keeps you awake, me included. Dig deeper into the suspects. McCoy's case intrigues. April 1972, he hijacks a United flight, demands $500,000, jumps over Utah. Caught days later, he matches Cooper's build, but his chute's military grade, not civilian like Cooper's. Executed 1974. Weber's tale pulls hard. Joe finds a Northwest manual in his things. Hears that deathbed whisper. DNA from his tie. No match to the plane's trace. Christensen's story lingers. He flew for Northwest, trained as a paratrooper, lived frugally, despite cash stashes, died 2003. No confession. Others pop up. Robert Rackstraw, a vet with a criminal past, bragged about it, but polygraphs cleared him. Each lead teases, then crumbled. What if they missed a crew member's tip-off? Maybe. Open loop. Who packed that chute? Hold on. The evidence hunt ramps up. Back to the break. 2019. A retired pilot, Dick Russell, claims a stewardess hinted at a second man on board. Speculation, no proof. Kay's team pushes harder, testing river sediment, finds traces of jet fuel, linking to the 7F-127's path. 2021, a metal fragment, possibly from the stairs, turns up near Carson. FBI dismisses it as debris. Twists pile. A 1972 letter to the Oregon Journal, signed D. Cooper taunts the FBI. I'm alive, laughing. Authenticity debated. Dead ends loom. No fingerprints on the note. No clear motive beyond cash. Pressure mounts. Kay's group faces funding cuts. Himmelsbach's old team fades. Cliffhanger. Did the storm hide a body or a getaway? The chase slows, but the questions don't. Here's the climax. No arrest. No trial. No confession. The FBI shuts the case. July 8, 2016. labeling it a dead end. That $200,000. Mostly gone. A few wet bills, all we've got. The how stuns. He jumped with a faulty chute. No oxygen. Into a tempest. Odds of survival, 1 in 1,000. Experts argue. Luck, not skill. From that hijack note to the river cache, we've traced a man who turned a plane into his escape hatch. And maybe his two. Families like Tina's still search for closure. Agents like Himmelsbach retired with a shrug. But doubts linger. Was it a lone wolf, or a crew? A pro or a desperate dreamer? In the end, cases like D.B. Cooper remind us, some truths don't land, they float mocking us from the stratosphere. If this left you gazing at the horizon, don't drift off yet. Subscribe for more true crime deep dives like our next one on the Zodiac Killer, where cryptic codes finally crack. Hit that bell, drop a like if it gripped you, and let's keep chasing shadows together.